Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is Coach Fury here, and we are back today with the latest episode of our Let's Play series in the CBGM, a multiplayer league for Draft Day Sports College Basketball 21. And you may see on the screen that I've changed the introductory screen as we are now approaching Season 2 of the league, so I felt it was due a time to give a little bit of a refresh to the main logo and the main page that we're going to use. I'll try and change this probably every season or so. But interested to your thoughts. Do you like this one? Do you prefer the old one? You've obviously gone away from having John Howard on the front of it. Maybe we'll put some more players in later on in other episodes or in other seasons. But yeah, just felt it was due a mix up. You know, maybe it brings a bit of luck for us this season as with Michigan. So for those who've been following along as we've gone through the episodes, I've only really done one recruiting update this season as we've been delving into the depths of it. And well, now we're at the point in the season where we are at the 11th of September, which means we are now at the point in the game where you can do the home visits, and this is your last chance to pitch to that player or two that you really want to bring to your program, and just set everything out on the table and really see if you can entice them to commit to your team. So I felt it was a good time to come back in, do another episode, maybe a slightly longer one than we've done previously on these Let's Play series, and just talk through the guys who I'm looking at, the reasons why. And obviously this is going to be going out probably a day or just after the actual sim has been run on the decisions for some of these guys, so we don't give anything away. So let's dive straight into it and have a look and see who we're offering to and reasons why, and what areas we're going to pitch him. So I think the first one we should probably start with is Robert Samuel. So I think we talked about him maybe on the last episode, but Robert Samuel is a phenomenal player. He is from Michigan, so he's completely within our region. He also was the Indy MVP. So for those of you who follow the Draft Day Sports College Basketball 21, the Indy camp that Robert Samuel was the MVP of is the camp where the top 100 prospects in the class essentially go and compete and work out against each other. And this guy was the MVP of that camp. So essentially, you could argue that whilst he's nationally recognised as the number 5 overall recruit, he probably is the nationally recognised number 1 recruit realistically, because he actually proved that he was the best player in the top camp in the country in high school. So the reason why we are chasing him, and you're probably thinking, why on earth, Coach Fury, are you chasing this guy? Because, you know, realistically, Michigan doesn't normally have a chance at these types of guys. We are, as I've said before, a program that's just below probably the top prestige teams in the nation, and we're probably above some of the mid-pack teams in the nation. So we realistically should be looking at probably still the top 150 prospects and trying to bring maybe 1 or 2 of them in if we can, and then also diving in and try and snag up the best players in our region. Well, Robert Samuel clearly is within our region. He is obviously from Michigan, as I said, and to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think we are going to get another chance in my entire career span in the CBGM to bring in the Indy MVP who is in our region, and also, you know, has a bit of location focus, a bit of school prestige focus as well. So we're certainly going to be doing our best to bring Robert Samuel in. So as you can see here, we are hot on him. We are in the top 3. So the positive thing is that we are the best team that's trying to bring him in terms of region. Obviously, you've got Xavier and Kansas, who are 2 higher prestige teams, and to be honest with you, they probably have the front running in this because he is high on prestige from what we've seen here and from what we've had talking to him. But I guess the positive is that he is within our region. The parent control is a little bit lower than I maybe would have liked. If it was a bit higher, we might have had more of a chance. If he was, you know, a Michigan type of player and his parents had a bit more control, maybe we'd have had a chance. But you can see there, obviously Princeton, Eastern Michigan were the alma mater of his parents anyway. So we're going to continue to pursue this. We do have backup options, and I'll probably talk about those in other episodes. But to be perfectly honest with you, we've got to see this one through. Our chances realistically of getting Robert Samuel, I would say, are probably less than 10%. if we got him, oh my goodness me, it would be fantastic. He would be the perfect replacement for Sweetwine, who's obviously one of our best front court players, who is a senior and obviously probably he's almost certainly going to be going into the pros this year because he is a senior. But I think he's going to be a good pro, to be honest with you. But Robert Samuel is one guy that we absolutely have put an offer out to. We've been going hard at him very early in the recruiting period to see if we can just hang around and just get to this point. And to be honest with you, the fact that we've got to this point as Michigan and we're up against Xavier and Kansas and we've managed to knock out some other big name teams who have been looking at him, from what I understand, I'm really interested to see how it goes. I don't expect us to get him, but we're there for the ride. That's the main thing with Robert Samuel. A 5-star prospect, top 5 in the nation, best East position in our region. Obviously in Michigan, we've got to just see it through. So let's move on to our other prospect that we've been going very hard on quite early in this whole season, in this whole recruiting period, really, and that is Garrett Berry, another guy who is a top ranked player. He is ranked 12th in the nation, number 1 by his position, so he's the best centre. He also was a top 10 player at Indy, so again, he's got good pedigree that he is one of the top players in the nation. I guess the surprising thing is I don't have any stats on him as to how he did in terms of the Chicago camp. I'm guessing he just didn't go to that because he was at the Indy camp maybe, but interesting that he haven't got anything on him there. I mean, you can see by his ratings that he's going to be a phenomenal player. Real proper inside post player who can do everything. Ball handling looks good. Athleticism looks okay. And while we've been neck and neck with him, to be honest with you, with Michigan State, that's kind of been our main competitor. Michigan State are a higher prestige team than us, so when you're looking at it on this, school prestige, facilities, maybe we don't have as much of a chance as Michigan State do for this guy. But I'm quietly comfortable with where we are with him. We've made him an offer. We've got a good level of pitching ideas of what he wants. Playing home is somewhat important to him, but school prestige is probably the biggest factor for him, and facilities. And we do have good facilities. I think our facilities are about an A or a B. Let's just double check what they compare like to Michigan State actually whilst we're here. So in terms of school details, so their facilities are an A plus. Ours I think are only a B actually. Yeah, so our facilities are only a B, but not much difference in it. Again, another guy that realistically he will probably end up at Michigan State if I had to guess. But again, we've got to go for it because again he's a top player in our actual small region of Michigan, and well, if we don't go for him, then what's the point basically? So we're gonna keep going at him. I'm gonna see if we can maybe have a little bit more of a conversation with him in this Let's Play episode, and just see if we can get a bit more information out of him again, just to definitely clarify how playing time maybe fits with him, because that's the only thing we don't necessarily know about in terms of Garrett Berry. So that's one next guy we've been looking at. The final scholarship offer that we've put out is to Garrett Womack. So Garrett Womack is an interesting one. There's a lot of teams now who are hot on him. He's again a top 10 player Indy, so he's a 5-star prospect. So we've gone for 3 5-star prospects this year, which is something I think I said in the first couple of episodes of this Let's Play series that I wasn't necessarily going to do. I was going to build up through 4-star guys. Well, I feel things have kind of worked pretty nicely this year, and we've got a lot of hot interest this year in top guys, so we've got to just roll the dice this year and just see. I think it's a good litmus test. Last year we understood exactly where we could kind of drop to and snag guys because we had such poor recruiter ability on our staff. This year we've got better recruiter ability, so we've been able to hit some of the elite guys a lot better than we did last time. But as you guys are well aware, point guard is just a massive problem for us at Michigan. Huge problem. We just don't have a decent point guard, and I am trying absolutely really well, just so unbelievably hard to try and bring a point guard in. And well, we've looked at a whole range of guys. There's one in region guy that I looked at, and he just completely tanked at the camps, at the Chicago camp, which is always a worry. It means that he's probably going to be raw. So Garrett Womack was, I think, the guy that I felt that I had the most chance of being able to get. And the reason I say that is because his requirements are playing time and location. We can absolutely offer him playing time. We have no one at point guard who's any good, so we can try and hit that pretty hard, and see how it goes. I guess the concern that we've got is that you know, we've got other guys in region who are chasing him. So Notre Dame, Cincinnati, all within that sort of Indianapolis sort of region comparison to us. Wisconsin as well. So we've got a bit of a competition for him. But again, another one we're going to see through. So essentially what we're looking at in terms of 3 guys that I've just talked about, they're all 5-star guys. They're all hot on us. If we get one of them, absolutely fantastic. If we get none, it's not the end of the world. I've got 3 or 4 options for each guy in terms of position and need, and you know, just maybe a couple who are under the radar who I think would be good players, like equivalent to what we brought in last year. But for this first sim, I just want to roll the dice and just see how it goes. So that's kind of the logic behind who we've been looking at. Let's get straight into it, and let's try and get some of these pitches done whilst we are on the episode here. So we'll wait for this to load. First things first, let's go and talk to Garrett Berry. Let's see if we can call him. I'm interested to understand a bit more about playing time and realistically how much of prestige and facilities are actually his concern. So we're going to dial him. We're going to waste some phone time and dial him. So pitch areas, I want to know about playing time. It's very important to him. Okay, that's good. Team prestige, tell me about it. Very important, and facilities are very important. Okay, so that's not necessarily going to help us huge amount, but we'll have another look. So in other words, we've got a 1 in 3 chance of pretty much snagging his right pitch area from what we want. So we'll let this load and we'll have another look at him. So here we go. In terms of playing time, it's still lower. Prestige is still the highest, so I think we're still going to have to pitch prestige to him and go from there. So we're going to obviously pitch prestige to Berry. So that one is done. So move on to Robert Samuel. So Robert Samuel, his highest area is prestige, and it's his top priority. And it's a top priority for his parents as well. So I think what we'll do is we'll give him another call and just ask him about prestige again. Yeah, he's done 1 priority. Okay, that's an easy sell. So we'll obviously pitch prestige to him as well. So that's the worry, is that we're not a very prestigious school, and there are teams who have better prestige than us in the hot on both Samuel and Berry. So we're obviously gambling a bit here, but I'm comfortable with that. So we're going to pitch prestige to Robert Samuel, and then we also have Womack, I believe, who is... Oh look, we've actually had a commit to West Virginia there. Blimey, I didn't even see that last time. So we've got Womack. So in terms of him, it's playing time and location. Let's see if we can maybe find a bit more about that. So playing time, very important. Prestige. Okay, so prestige might not actually be his main area. It might be playing time, which could play nicely into our hands. As I said, we don't have a particularly good point guard at the moment. We really don't. We're playing a shooting guard there, as we've talked about before, and as we did last year, we're going to have to play a shooting guard there. So that might work out very nicely for us. So I will double check his location actually as well. So let's see if we can get hold of him and talk about his location. It's very important to him. Okay. So we'll have a look, see what his interest is again. See whether either of those two have actually tweaked. Maybe one slightly higher than the other. That would give us a little bit of an edge, maybe. So still neck and neck. So he did say to us that his top priority was location. So I think that's what we're going to go with for him. So we're going to go location and visit. So that leaves, we have one other visit left to visit a recruit. I am not too sure who that's going to be yet, to be honest with you. I'm going to do a little bit more research into maybe one of our backup prospects. It'll probably will be a front court player, just to make sure that we get that backup kind of nicely in our hands and interested in us. We could probably talk a little bit more about international players, because we have delved into those a little bit since we last spoke. So I have talked about the top 5 recruits. I mean, we are in the running for some of these, but honestly, You know, we are top 5 for all of them, but we're cool. So I don't think we will necessarily be going after these guys unless we fall out on our third, fourth option or so. I know there's a lot of people interested in Felix Mavrotordatos. I really like his ratings. It's really, really hard to tell with international players, though, how ready now they are. But he could be a nice option if we foul on the point guard situation and he still is hanging around. We'll keep an eye out for him. Eric Simpson, I don't think we'd have a shot at. I think there's too much interest in him. And Sasha Rukaviana, I honestly don't think is good enough. He's got a lot of Fs. He's probably going to come in incredibly raw, is my hunch with him. So we're probably not going to necessarily explore him any further anyway. So that kind of gives us our pitching stuff. As I said, I've got one more pitch. I'll probably keep that one quiet and have a think about that one off camera. And we'll come back next time. We'll review again how the pitches went. Have any of them actually decided to come to Michigan? If we get, as I said, if we get one of those 3, I will be ecstatic, absolutely ecstatic. But we've got to be in it to win it. And when you've got 2 guys in Michigan and 1 guy in Indianapolis who is interested in you, likes location or is within region, you've just got to go to it. Sometimes you just got to throw the dice in there and see what happens. So let's have a look, see if we've had anyone committed. I don't think I can actually filter by. Yeah, only committed. Let's see who's committed so far quickly to end the episode. So 1 5-star guy did. Marvin Haslam has immediately gone to West Virginia. No surprise there. They've got the legend that is the logo of the CBGM. He has managed to bring in a star straight away. Cincinnati has also brought in Keenan Lee. I know nothing about him, so I can't really comment, but he looks like a 4-star prospect. And then Craig Krudkup has also committed to South Carolina. So 4-star, that's not a bad little pickup for South Carolina, if I'm honest. Not bad for them. So that brings us to the end of this episode. Interested to hear what you guys think. Have I pitched in the right areas of each of those 3 guys? You know, do you think we've taken the right tact here to just roll the dice with the 5-star guys? Are we taking a bit too much of a risk here? Really interested to hear your thoughts. I'm positively nervous about how this goes, this episode. As like I said, we'll come back next time. We'll do a bit of a reflection, and we'll see if any of those 3 5-star prospects are going to be suiting up for Michigan in not this season, but next season. Who knows? We might make it happen, but if not, we'll certainly look at 2nd, 3rd, 4th options. I've been actively doing that as well, so no worries there for those who are getting nervous about possibility that we're going to end up not getting anyone who is decent at all. We do have other options, I think. And other options I know have not had a lot of interest who I think could do a job for Michigan. So we'll see how that goes. And we'll come back next time, see what happens with recruiting. But if you enjoy the episodes, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, and follow them as they come out. And let's hear your comments. Let's see what your feedback. As I said, I'm still learning in this game, but I think we're slowly making improvements to this Michigan team. And we'll see how that impacts recruiting and the season ahead.